the iPod, and there's something called the iRiver. They're both sitting on my desk, and they're both playing the same song on repeat. I have my headphones in, and I'm switching the plug of the headphones from one MP3 player to the other, just back and forth, and back and forth, and I cue up different songs in different genres, different instruments, different vocal ranges, and back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth. And after 2 days, it's clear. It's clear. I mean, the iRiver sounds better. Overall, the iPod, it does have a little bit more nuance in the mid-range, but the iRiver, it has this richness to it. It's just more full-bodied, and so good. You're keeping the iRiver. You're keeping the iRiver. This is done. This is done. Just return the iPod right now. And I'm slipping the iPod back into the box. And the box, the way that it's hinged, it reminds me of a jewel box, which is fitting in a way, because the iPod, with those curved chrome edges melding seamlessly into that minimalist white face, it's beautiful. It's sensual. Like, I kind of want to lick it. Whereas the iRiver, well, it's made in Korea, South Korea, I assume, though maybe it's North. I mean, this thing, it looks communist. It's this stout utilitarian slab studded with switches and dials and knobs and buttons, and people get mugged for their iPods. No one's going to mug you for an iRiver. If they tried, you just bludgeon them with the thing. Yeah, but it's going to be in your pocket. It's going to be in your pocket 90–95% of the time. The aesthetics are irrelevant here. Yes, but the iPod's battery is better. I mean, that's not irrelevant. Who cares how good the iRiver sounds if you can't actually turn the thing on? Yeah, but the iRiver gets 8 hours per charge. You've never listened to more than 8 hours of continuous music in your life. Yes, but you've never had an MP3 player before. Now that you have your entire collection at your fingertips, you're going to be listening to music a lot more. That's the whole point. 8 hours may not be enough. Yeah. You're going to be listening. You're going to be listening because it's an audio player. Audio quality is the paramount consideration. You've made your decision. Just stick with your decision. But there has to be a reason. No one lines up for days outside the iRiver store. Just keep the iPod. Everyone else loves their iPods. Yeah, but the sound quality, the battery life, and the user interface. You know, just pick one, man. Just pick either one. It's not worth the suffering. Just pick either one, but pick the right one, pick the right one, pick the right one, pick the right one, and finally, I turn to the place I always turn when I'm utterly lost and desperate, Google. And I type in OCD cures. Well, I type in OC and Google auto-populates D cures. And there's medications, there's Prozac, Paxil, Zoloft, Xanax, Effexor, Lamictal, and every single one of these. Lexapro, I'm currently taking 60 milligrams of that one. Next page. Psychotherapies, exposure response prevention, flooding, psychodynamic, cognitive behavioral. I've done all of this too. Next page, yoga. I did that for 2 years. Meditation. I stuck with that one for 5 years because if I could just attain enlightenment, then everything would be perfect. If I could just attain enlightenment, then everything would be perfect. If I could just attain enlightenment, then everything would be perfect. And technically, that's not a mantra. Hypnotism, homeopathy, acupuncture, herbal remedies. Come on, there has to be something I haven't tried. Next page. Next page. Midway down the page, there's a link that's still in that pristine virginal blue. It hasn't been improved by my previous click. The Journal of Clinical Psychiatry, a pilot study of a new experimental medication for obsessive compulsive disorder. I don't have time to read this. What are the results? What are the results? What are the conclusions? With a single dose, every patient experienced significant remission of OCD symptoms. In some cases, the changes seem permanent. What's this stuff called? Psilocybin. Highlight, right-click, search. Psilocybin is the active compound in hallucinogenic mushrooms. So, I call my weed dealer Slow. That's his name. Though in all fairness, slow is slow. I mean, slow walks slow, slow talks slow. Slow somehow manages to deliver marijuana with astounding rapidity. But in every other respect, Slow fully embodies his moniker, which is spelled simply S-L-O. Because when you're as slow, you can't afford to take the time to get to that terminal W. Come on, man, pick up the phone. Slow finally picks up the phone, the way he always picks up the phone, on the last possible ring. Yo, dog, what's happening, son? In case anyone thinks I'm doing a bad stereotype black accent, Slow is white. He does a bad stereotype black accent. My rendition was flawless, I assure you. Yeah, slow. No, I'm good on weed, man. No, I'm looking for mushroom slow. Well, how quickly can you get them? Yeah, but I mean, don't you know someone who has them, like a colleague or someone? No one in New York, man. I have trouble. Yeah, I guess there are growing seasons slow, but come on, this is not an exotic request. No, I don't want ecstasy. I definitely don't want ketamine, man. It has to be mushrooms. It doesn't make a difference why slow. Listen, I have been a very loyal customer for a very long time, okay? If you can't come through for me on this, I kind of have to reevaluate this entire relationship. No, slow, don't hang up. I'm asking you to do me a favor, okay? It's not even a favor. I will get a lot of them. I will make it worth your while. Are you really going to try, though? Today. Tomorrow, then, as soon as possible. Yeah, that's fine. Yes, whatever it costs. Okay. Yeah. No, I don't care how good your ketamine is. Bye. Fucking slow. Fuck. I go to Times Square, and I start barking. Stand-up comedy, 8:30, 10:30, midnight showtimes. We got Jim Gaffigan headlining from Comedy Central. Stand-up comedy. Barkers are indigenous to the Times Square region of New York City. They're probably the most loathed subspecies of New Yorker, which is saying something, but they deserve it. The way they approach prospects and plead for their patronage. Hey, we've got an amazing stand-up comedy show tonight. We've got Chris Rock, we got Jerry Seinfeld. You look like you need a laugh. I got the ticket right here. Get it? Tickets? I don't do that shit, though. No, I simply stand in the most high-traffic area in all of Times Square, almost invariably in front of the Hershey store. I shout my sales pitch, and I wait for my audience to come to me. It's less humiliating and far more efficient. Stand-up comedy, 8:30, 10:30, midnight showtimes. We got Jim Gaffigan tonight, half price cover of the free flyers, stand-up comedy. Just keep the iRiver, man. That was your first impulse. Just return the iPod. But you know what? But it does. Just stand-up comedy, great lineup tonight. Half fucking slow, man. He's trying to upsell me ketamine? I refer people to that guy. Stand-up comedy, great lineup, half price cover tonight, stand-up comedy. And then I see her. And it's a Friday. I mean, Times Square is thronged, so something about her must stand out. I think, paradoxically, it's her plainness. She's really cute, maybe even beautiful, but in this very wholesome way. Something about her seems pure. Like she's this farm girl set loose amidst these frantically flashing 5-story high video displays of animated M&Ms. And I watch her walk towards me. She picks her way past the guy squawking out White Christmas on his alto saxophone, even though it's fucking May. And then she hits this knot of people clustered at the entrance to the Hershey store, which is in a state of perpetual gridlock because the width of the doorway is wildly inadequate for the clientele. She went into the Hershey store. That's disappointing. I peered through the plate glass windows. She's not there, so she has to be right there. Did you lose her? Did you seriously lose her? Dude, she was 10 feet away from you. You're just standing here like the universe is going to deliver her to you? Why didn't you walk over to her, you idiot? Hey, she's standing right next to me. So, what's this show tonight? Oh, yeah, it's a great lineup tonight. It's a bunch of famous comics plus me. I'm Adam. I'm Grace. So you stopped in Times Square. You're a tourist. Yeah, I'm visiting from Kansas. Wow, that's kind of exotic here. Are you in school? Well, I just graduated, but I'm moving to California in the fall for grad school. For psychology, that's why I'm here, for a conference. Oh, that was my college major. I almost went to grad school myself for psych. Well, here, take a flyer. It starts in 25 minutes. It's just straight up Broadway, left on 53rd. I really hope you can make it. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'll see you there. Okay. Okay, she's gonna come. You didn't fuck it up. Well, no, you did fuck it up. You got lucky. But she's gonna come. But she may not come. she could just be being polite. I mean, she's from Kansas. People do that there. Or no, she seems sincere. She probably intends to come, but look around, man. She's going to get waylaid by barkers from competing comedy clubs, or the legions of Nigerians unfurling their white bedsheets laden with knockoff Gucci purses. You sent a girl from Kansas loose into the wilds of Times Square, and you expect her to make it 6 blocks? Why didn't you walk her there? You have to go back yourself anyway in 7 minutes. Jesus Christ, man. You get a second chance and you fuck that up too. You fucking idiot. Fuck! Ladies and gentlemen, your next comic performs all over New York City. Please give a very warm round of applause for Adam Strauss. Thank you for that. Thank you. It's not enough. I still feel empty inside, but thank you. Thank you for trying. I mean, whatever. The universe is a hologram. None of this shit really matters anyway, does it? It's all... She's here. And the rest of the set, it goes surprisingly well. It's a good crowd, as you can tell. And after the set, I go stand the very edge of the stage where I'm mostly obscured by a curtain, so I can watch the rest of the show, and I can also sort of discreetly observe Grace. And the comic after me, shoot, it's Laura. She's not a barker. She's a pro. She has 3 Comedy Central specials, HBO. She is killing it, just destroying it. And then this comic, she does a joke about dick slapping. I'm not sure if your silence means you're unfamiliar with that, or if it's in the Bay Area, it's something you do every Tuesday. I don't know. And the only important point, it's a really good joke. It's smart, it's dirty, and it just crushes. Everyone in the club is losing it. Except Grace. She's literally the only person in here not laughing. The show ends. Everyone starts heading towards the exits. I mean, go talk to her. At least say hi. She came out to the show. But also, why bother? After seeing her not laugh at that joke, it's now obvious why she looks wholesome and pure. Because she's wholesome and pure. She's probably a virgin. She could be a Republican. You don't know. Yeah, but there could be a rational explanation. She could have had some traumatic dick-slapping incident in her past. I mean, if you don't at least talk to her, you're going to beat yourself up over it later. That was really funny. You sound surprised. Maybe a little bit. Oh, this is Janet. Grace nods towards this blonde woman in a pantsuit standing next to her. She's also at the conference. Oh, nice to meet you, Janet. So what are you researching? Huh. No, I didn't know that. Jesus Christ. I should just make my interest clear to Grace, you know? Just put it out there. That way if she's saving herself for marriage, or Jesus, or Janet, I can just cut my losses. Listen, I say to Grace, I think you're really attractive. But Janet is right there. That's just rude to her. I think you're attractive too. Are they gonna think I'm trying for a threesome though? I mean, I'm not averse, that just seems fairly ambitious at this stage. I should clarify. I just prefer brunettes. That's just insulting though, right? You can't do that with skin color. You're beautiful, I prefer whites. It's probably some Freudian thing. My mother has dark hair. That's pretty much how they react too. But then, Janet breaks the silence by saying that she's tired anyway. She's heading back to the hotel. So Grace and I, we go around the corner to this bar on 9th Avenue. And after a couple of drinks, I lean in towards Grace. She doesn't move away. I kiss her. Let's get out of here. So we go back to my apartment. And the sex is fine, it's good. I mean, more than anything, I'm just relieved. I optimized the situation. We're lying in bed afterwards. So you don't have a girlfriend then? No, I do not. And then Grace just falls asleep. Wow, she's out cold. I mean, no woman has slept in this bed since, well, since Annie. Grace is really cute. And yeah, her skin is like perfect. And really nice features. I mean, not like stunning, but yeah, really pretty. Her nose, though, her nose has a little bit of an upturn to it. It looks almost vaguely porcine in a way. I mean, even with that, she's still objectively better looking than I am. I know that, but she has flaws. I mean, of course, Annie was not flawless either. And the years we lived together were not all happy, but after Annie moved out, I spent most of my waking hours having imaginary conversations with her in my head about the most mundane things too. I'd imagine Annie telling me about a yoga class she wanted to sign up for, her weekend plans with her sister. I would actually imagine Annie telling me almost every day what she'd had for lunch. And whenever I did dishes, the water sputtering out of my apartment's old plumbing, I would hear Annie's gurgling laugh, which I'd always teased her about. I'd always called it the lawn sprinkler. And that's when it started. 3-4 weeks after Annie moved out, it began with the shirt. So I'll put on a shirt, but yeah, see the collar, it spreads too wide, so I'll put on another shirt, but there's a small stain, though it's not really a visually high traffic area, but it's a pit stain, man. You're not going out with a shirt with a pit stain. And so I'll put on another shirt, and this one looks good. Yeah, this one looks too good. You should save this one for a more important occasion. And put back on the first one, or the third one, or the second one, and it gets worse and worse. I'm spending 15 minutes, 20, 27 minutes just to pick out a shirt until I finally figure out the perfect solution. I figure out which of my shirts is my best shirt via surveying friends and family. I narrow down to 2, and then I beta test both candidates by wearing them out and seeing which organically elicits the most compliments. And then I go out and I buy 10 identical copies of that shirt. And as I'm leaving the store, you know what? Get one more, just to be safe. I mean, H&M is not exactly renowned for their durability. And the girl at the register, she seems a little bit concerned when she's bringing up those first 10 shirts. But when I come back 5 minutes later with an 11th, she looks genuinely terrified. But it's worth it because it works for a few weeks. But then, after a couple of washings and wearings, the shirts, they're no longer precisely identical. There are slight variations in fit and fading, some of these subtle discolorations. And so now, in order to leave the apartment, I first need to rank my shirts from best to worst, and then cross-weight that against the importance of my appearance for whatever activities I anticipate engaging in that day. So if I'm just going to work and coming home, I'm going to want a mid-range shirt, 5 or 6. Yeah, but which one, 5 or 6? Well, maybe 5 because it's a nice day, and maybe I'll have lunch in Madison Square Park, and there's some beautiful women there, so then maybe I should upgrade to 4, no, 6, and 37 minutes, 40 minutes, 40. Just go, man, just go. You're going to be late. Just go. And once I do finally make it out of the apartment, I'll be walking up 8th Avenue, except maybe I should cross over to 7th, because that's where the Fashion Institute of Technology is. There's a lot of beautiful women there, except no, I don't want to see them. Not wearing this. Why are you wearing this shirt? The 4th one was the right one. Go back and no, keep walking. And I will keep walking up 8th Avenue. There are more trees on the other side of 8th. That's why I'm going crazy. There's not enough nature in this city. Yeah, this is better. Except I'm in the shade now. The other side is sunny. I mean, trees are nice, but sunlight, that's a physiological necessity. That's vitamin D production. Wait, you're not wearing any sunscreen. Whatever benefits you're going to derive from increased vitamin D will be more than negated by ultraviolet radiation exposure. Shit. And so I'll literally just zigzag down the street every morning until I arrive at the bodega. Which bagel should I get? And it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And despite all this attention paid to picking the right shirt, I haven't met the right woman. It's been 4 years since Annie moved out. And there have been women, but I don't know, some of them aren't smart enough. Some of them aren't beautiful enough. They may be smarter and better looking than I am, but that's irrelevant. That's not the criteria. And some of these women, some of them actually would wind up in my bed, but I'd always make some excuse why they couldn't stay over. Because there's something very intimate about literally sleeping with someone. Almost more so than sex itself. And no, I'm not going to make that mistake. I'm not going to let myself get close to any of them because it's clearly not going to last. But like how on a farm, you don't name the animals you know you're going to eat. Shit, it's 3 a.m., man. You can't kick her out now. She doesn't know the city at all. Anyway, she's going back to Kansas tomorrow. I mean, Kansas, is that even a real place? That's like Narnia. You're never going to see this woman again, so what's the danger then? So I do something I haven't done in years. I turn towards this woman sleeping in my bed, and I sort of snake my left arm under her torso, drape my right arm over her, and Grace's sleeping body sighs towards mine. And something in me just lets go. Completely. Something that had been knotted up for so long I'd ceased to even register. And I am out. She's gone the next morning. There's a text on my phone. Didn't want to wake you, but great meeting you. Take care of yourself. Adam, are you even listening to me, Adam? Yes, I'm listening to you, Dr. Wilson. What you're saying is ridiculous. I mean, you're comparing me to a hand washer? It's just lazy therapy. If you really want to help me, okay? If you really want to help me, why don't you just tell me? Can you answer one simple question? Let's try this, okay? Why don't you tell me how you like the bass response on your iPod? What's on the wall behind me, Adam? Your diplomas, okay? One of which is from a community college. I was teaching there. I don't think that makes it any better. Fine. You want to play this game? Let me ask you another question. How many therapists did you audition before you picked me? I don't know, 4 or 5 or 8. What's your point exactly? My point is, why don't you let me help you the way I know how? Can we try that for a change? Let me break it down for you as simply as possible. Those hand washers want to be certain they're perfectly clean. You want to be certain you're making the perfect decision, but maybe they missed a spot. Maybe you didn't consider some critically important variables, and that doubt makes you anxious. And the more you think about it, the more that anxiety rises until finally they'll wash their hands again, and you'll change your decision again. And the anxiety, it often does go down for a little bit, but then it creeps back up. The doubt sets in again. So you do it again and again and again, just chasing that relief. See, OCD, Adam, it's really just an addiction. I'm an addict now. I mean, are you just picking shit out at random from the DSM-4? You know, Adam, there's a 12-step program called Obsessive Compulsive Anonymous that I would strongly suggest you check out. Can I at least listen to your iPod then, okay? With the time that I am paying you for, can I get some value for this session? Sure. You want to listen, Adam? Go ahead. Knock yourself out, because here's the bottom line. You're fucked. You're going to have anxiety, whichever MP3 player you choose, and the harder you try to get unfucked by reversing your choices, the more fucked you'll be. You want to get out of this? There's only one way. Accept the anxiety. Stop trying to get rid of it with these reversals. Trust me, Adam. You're not that special. There are porters, hand washers, stove checkers, skin pickers, hair pullers. They're all sitting in a circle on these stackable plastic chairs, and everyone is sharing. One guy says this meeting is the first time he's left his apartment in 3 weeks, and everyone starts. I see we have a newcomer here this evening, says a very tall woman with spiky gray hair. Would you care to share with the group? Me? I mean, I don't really know what this is. This is my first time. Well, that's okay. You can share whatever's on your mind or in your heart. Might just help you to try. I guess I just don't see how this is going to help me. I mean, frankly, it doesn't seem to be helping most of you. If this is the after picture, how bad was everyone before? Thank you for sharing. Okay, well, we do have time for 1 or 2 more shares. Would anyone else like to share? Anyone? Anyone? Yes, Gene. You're powerless. This guy is staring right at me. You think you can control your obsessions and compulsions on your own? Well, then why are you here? Oh, you can abstain. You can abstain, but not on your own. No, what you need is a dose of humility. What you need is to turn this whole thing over and ask your higher power for some help. But I don't have a higher power. Oh, that's rich. That's rich. It's where I'm sitting. It sure looks like you're serving something, pal. What's that supposed to mean? Okay, no crosstalk. No crosstalk. You know that. You know what? We're almost out of time anyway, so let's all rise and hold hands for the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can. This is my favorite place in New York, Pier 40. You're far out on the Hudson River, water on 3 sides, gorgeous views of New Jersey, which perhaps sounds like an oxymoron, but anything can be beautiful and viewed at sufficient distance. And you have to give Jersey credit for the air pollution. I mean, the way it enhances the sunset, the colors, they're almost lurid. It looks like a bloody handprint's being slowly dragged down to the horizon. You are such a dork, says Grace. I'm a dork? You're the one who's studying insect hibernation for fun. Torpor is not the same as hibernation. It's a totally different process, and it's way more extreme. Oh, I didn't tell you about the cricket. There's this giant cricket in, I'm pretty sure it's New Zealand. It freezes solid every night, and then it just thaws out in the morning. How is that possible? Blood proteins, man. I know, it's wild, right? Okay. This is kind of dorky, but I'm going to go take a picture of the Statue of Liberty. This girl just seems to know everything. Like walking over here, she knew the names of all the plants and trees lining the Hudson River. She knows that pigeons don't migrate. She knows how wounds heal. And she knows herself. She knows what she's doing in life. She has a path and a plan, but is also very laid back about all of it. She's just, yeah, she's good. And it's been good having her here. It's been really good. She's been here for 4 days, and yeah. But she's leaving. She leaves tomorrow, and then in a few weeks, she moves to California for grad school. For 5 years of grad school. I mean, we're not going to do the cross-country thing for 5 years, so this is it. And the OCD has been so much better while she's been here. And fucking slow. I mean, really, like what sort of drug dealer can't get, but you know what, in fairness, it's not just slow, because I've started asking other people, and apparently there's some sort of post-Burning Man mushroom drought happening. it's like a cruel joke. I finally find the one thing that could potentially help me, and suddenly it's totally unavailable? I mean, what sort of bullshit is that? Is everything okay? Says Gracie. She sits down next to me. I need to ask you something. Why didn't you laugh at that dick slapping joke? Oh, well, I guess it just rang false. The premise was that dick slapping is disgusting, but I don't know, I kind of like it. I need to ask you something else. Is there any chance you could get hallucinogenic mushrooms? I mean, I wouldn't send them through the mail. That would just be stupid. Yeah, no, obviously. It's not recreational. It's, so I have obsessive compulsive disorder. Yeah, I know. No? Well, for the first day, I was entertaining bipolar, but no, OCD is clearly the right diagnosis. Also, I think you may have a touch of autism as well. I mean, I've tried everything, and nothing's helped, but there was a study. It just came out in the Journal of Clinical Psychiatry, the JCP. Yeah, anyway, it looks like, at least in some cases, mushrooms can permanently cure OCD. Yeah, I guess I could believe that. I mean, something sort of similar happened to me. I actually used to be really depressed. Really? Well, I can't even imagine you unhappy, like clinically depressed? It got so bad that I started planning on killing myself. But then my best friend, he actually did it, and I couldn't go through with it anymore. But I did try mushrooms. I tried them 2 or 3 times, and I don't think they helped me much. What did seem to help was cactus. Cactus? Well, there are quite a few strains of cacti that contain mescaline and are technically legal to own. And when I was 16, this store opened up a few blocks from me called Bouncing Bear Botanicals that stocked all of them. And I sort of became friends with the owner. And whenever he'd get a new cactus in, he would just give me some for free, as long as I promised to take notes and report back on the experience. Wait, you were beta testing psychedelic cacti at age 16? Actually, it went on for a few years, until I had this one trip where, what happened? It was like my awareness expanded beyond myself, and I can't really put it into words. It was like I became the whole universe, and not metaphorically. That's a +4. And I could see myself so clearly, almost like I was someone else, and I was shocked. I was the one who was creating my depression through my thoughts, my behaviors, so I stopped. Wait, you had a +4 on psychedelic cactus, and it cured your clinical depression? Holy shit. No, it didn't just cure me, Adam. I had to work really hard afterwards to change. It just showed me I could change. I never realized I had a choice. All right, well, either way, forget about mushrooms. Where do we get this cactus? eBay. 11 feet of psychedelic cacti sent me back $60. I'd ordered 14 feet from 4 different sellers, but one of them canceled my order after I requested overnight shipping. Yeah, which he took as proof of my intent to use this cactus for, quote, illicit purposes. Since he said, why would one otherwise need a cactus so urgently? And I am furious when I get that email. I mean, I am livid. You do not know me, okay? Like, how dare you accuse me of the thing I'm about to do? But it's okay, it's okay. 11 feet should still be enough for a +4, because on the Shulgin rating scale of psychedelic experience, a single plus sign is a very mild trip. +1, you can do your job, you can drive a car, no real impairment. 2+ signs, moderate. You could drive, it would be reckless. 3+ signs, even being a passenger in a car could be iffy. And 4+ signs. 4+ signs is what Alexander Shulgin calls a peak mystical experience. basically, it's enlightenment. Loss of self as individual and melding into the universal and the infinite. At a +4, you are the car. And to be the car, in addition to the right dose of the right drug, you need the right environment, the right physical setting. I learned about this on bluelight.ru. It's ostensibly domiciled in Russia, I guess for legal reasons. So the right environment. So I start looking for rental houses on Martha's Vineyard. And I find one right by the ocean, but it's in a very developed area. And I find a second one, very remote location, might be a little bit too remote. And I find a third one and a fourth one. I start downloading Google Maps satellite images, and I'm using the ruler function in Google Earth to measure the distance from each house to the adjacent neighbors, and a fifth house, and a sixth house. And also, should we even be going? I mean, I like Grace, but this is a big step to spend a week with her in a very remote location, and a seventh house and an eighth house. And I start looking at property tax records, because I figure if I can find a house that has a high assessed value and a low rental rate, that's probably a good deal. So I'm calculating the ratio of those in a Excel spreadsheet. And a 9,000, and a 10,000, and an 11,000 private beach, and it's still available, and it's that affordable. This one is perfect. This is the right house. I fucking picked the wrong house. I picked the wrong house. I knew it. I say to Grace as we're bringing the bags in, and it's true. It's clearly the wrong house. I mean, for one thing, you can't even see the ocean. It is a pitch black moonless night, but still, if we were as close to the beach as the listing said, you'd at least be able to hear the waves. As it is, the only thing we can hear is Lady Gaga. There's another house, this grotesque McMansion, which was not on the satellite images. They must have just built it, and they're having a party? Are you fucking kidding me? Let's just go back to New York. You know what? This whole thing was a mistake. My apartment is quieter than this place. Spoon me. What? I want you to spoon me, Adam, okay? We can bring in the bags later, but just spoon me just for 5 minutes, please. The first thing I see the next morning is Grace's head peeking in the open doorway to the bedroom. Dude, you're finally up. I have something to show you. She walks over to the window, throws open the curtains. So that blue there, that's called the ocean. And that strip of beige, that's our private beach. The crazy thing is, I actually believed you last night. I was like, Adam's right, this was the wrong choice. But give your OCD credit, man, this place is amazing. And it really is amazing. But we don't spend much time that first day on our private beach. Instead, we're mostly in the kitchen/drug lab. Because ingesting cactus requires some serious commitment. I mean, you're talking about eating something that really seems like it does not want to be eaten. Cactus is basically the horticultural equivalent of the phrase, fuck off. It's nature's middle finger, really. So what we do, Grace and I, we start by removing these barbed quills from the cactus with a pair of pliers that I borrowed from a neighbor back in New York under wildly false pretenses. Then we very carefully slice off the resilient skin with a steak knife. We hew the cactus flesh away from the central woody core. We dice it up. We feed it into a blender. We puree it. We pour that into a lobster pot. We boil it overnight, periodically adding distilled water and straining it through cheesecloth until eventually we've reduced it to this sort of like greenish, grayish sludge. See, if nothing else this afternoon, you will learn how to make powerful drugs from normal household items. You're not going to get that at Hamilton, I'll tell you that. And what do they charge? Like $700 a ticket? And they teach you to make 0 drugs. I don't see the appeal at all. Where's the value proposition, really? And as part of my value add over Hamilton, I should tell you, psychedelic cactus, it really is a normal household item. Many of the most common cacti strains sold at garden centers and florists and Home Depot, many of those cacti are psychedelic. If you have a cactus at home, the odds are pretty good you could do this tonight. So, and then you'll think you saw Hamilton. So it's let me save you a tip. I should warn you though, if you do try this at home, you're in for a long night. I mean, converting cactus to some sort of quasi-comestible concoction, well, it takes Grace and I 11 hours start to finish. But, thanks to the magic of theater, I'm off tomorrow. Yep. Whoa.
Well, that's encouraging.
Oh. Does anyone want to finish this? It's organic. You guys are like, we all took cactus juice earlier. This is the main after party. Ugh. Well, if any of you had been brave, what would happen to you next is nothing. 45 minutes goes by, nothing. An hour and a half, 2 hours, nothing. It's not working. We boiled it for too long. We destroyed the mescaline. I warned you this could happen. You have to be patient, Adam. It can take a while sometimes. Yeah, but I mean, come on. If it was gonna work, we would have felt something by now. Actually, let's go outside. So we make our way down to the beach, passing underneath this huge canopy of trees. They're sycamore maples. And as I look up, I can see each leaf hanging distinct like this mysterious fruit, pregnant with meaning in a language I once knew and still sometimes dream in. And I feel this energy suffusing my body, like every molecule is vibrating at a slightly higher frequency. It just pulls me into the present, into this. The mental chatter is still there, but it's distant. But it's not a +4. Yeah, no, this is a solid +2. You know what? That's okay though. We have 6 more nights here in a fridge full of cactus juice. I'll just up the dose next time. This is going to work. This is actually going to work. And it's sunset. The trip is finally starting to wind down. And Grace and I were sitting on the beach and we're watching these little, we're not actually sure what they are. I think they're some sort of tiny insect, but Grace says they're a larval shrimp based on the lunar cycles and the tidal currents. Whatever these things are, they're kind of fizzing up into the air as each wave comes crashing down. They're feeding. How can you tell that? Well, think about how much energy they have to expend to jump like that. They must be ingesting an equivalent amount, otherwise they'd starve. I'm starving. We haven't had solid food since this morning. Yeah, me too. Oh, I'm gonna make pancakes. I think I saw some mix in the cabinet. And I come downstairs after washing up, and Grace is standing at the stove on which there are these, they're not pancakes. I can call them crepes. They're crepe thickness, but they're burnt, completely blackened on the outside, yet they're still somehow undercooked. They're literally dribbling off the griddle. What happened? I don't know. Well, I mean, haven't you made pancakes before? No. And Grace is smiling in a way I've never seen her smile. Well, did you read the box? No. Or maybe I've just never noticed this smile. Maybe my perceptual powers are still slightly heightened from the cactus. And the smile, it's not really around her mouth. It's more in her eyes. There's a playfulness there. But playful in the way of dogs who might nip each other, occasionally even draw blood. It's a smirk. She's smirking at me. Because this is what she always does. She doesn't have all the answers. She doesn't have everything figured out. No, she's just so smart that she can wing it, and I never catch on. And this would explain why her suitcase upstairs, it just vomits out clothes. There's just one ball of clothes that she fishes stuff out of from time to time. Or how she called me from the airport 25 minutes before takeoff to ask which airline she's flying. Yeah, she's just another person, man. Bumbling through life, piecing it together as she goes along. I don't really know this woman. I love you. And the context is weird. I mean, we're standing over these aborted pancakes in this smoke-filled kitchen, still strewn everywhere with the remnants of cactus carcass. Yeah, I know. I love you too.
My love is a mountainside, so firm it can calm the tide. My love for you is a mountainside, it stands so firm it can calm the tide. That's why my love is a mountainside.
It didn't work. It didn't work. When I get back to New York, the OCD is waiting for me. Why didn't it work? This makes no sense. We tripped 3 times at the vineyard. The last time I took 16 ounces of cactus juice. Why wasn't that a +4? That should have been a +4. And so I turned to Google, and I learned that Lexapro, the anti-anxiety medication I'm on a whopping dose of, can potentially negate the effects of psychedelics. It's a remarkably easy decision. I stopped taking the Lexapro. It's clearly interfering with a more promising treatment. But even if it weren't for that, I don't know about this cactus stuff, because yeah, maybe cactus helped Grace, but that study, the OCD study, was not cactus, it was mushrooms. I need mushrooms. And you know what? Fuck it. Fuck slow. Fuck it. I start casting a much wider net at my quest. I ask old friends who are visibly horrified I'm still looking for shrooms. I ask random people at bars with obvious substance abuse issues. Finally, I write a post on bluelight.ru titled "Looking for the Mushroom Cure." And of course, I ask every comedian I know, and so when this new comic starts working for the club, I ask him, is there any way you know how to get mushrooms? Actually, I don't really bother with mushrooms anymore. I much prefer 4-ACO-DMT. What is that? It's a synthetic tryptamine analog invented by Sasha Shulgin, far superior to psilocybin in my opinion. How do you get it? Well, you used to be able to just buy it online, but then a couple of kids died in Norman, Oklahoma, and now you need to get it through these overseas gray market chemical supply labs. You need to show proof of academic affiliation and describe your experimentation involving plant receptor binding affinities. It's a huge hassle. So you can't get it. Oh no, actually, I'm going to place an order tonight. Do you want to go in on it with me? I was going to get 4-ACO-DMT, 4-HO-MIPTs, 2CE, 2CB, 2CD, maybe 100 to 200 milligrams of 5-MeO-DMT. And you really think these synthetic hallucinogens are better than mushrooms? Absolutely. It's all the good things about mushrooms with none of the bad. Clearer head space, less body load, better malleability. Just, you know, still be careful. This stuff can be a bit unpredictable. And 10 days later, a package arrives. A beat-up manila envelope tiled with custom stamps with a return address in, I think that's Chinese. Inside, 14 tiny Ziploc bags, each containing a seemingly identical white powder and inscribed with a slightly different string of numbers. And I am extremely eager to try all of these chemicals. I mean, not at once, but sequentially, or maybe I will combine some. I mean, the point is, 14 of them, one of them has to work. One of them has to give me a +4. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. But I do. I wait. And I wait. Timing is everything. And I wait. And I wait until finally, I open the door. Grace falls into my arms. Clothes come off quickly. The sex is better than fine. No dick slapping. We're lying on the floor afterwards. So how was your flight, by the way? Oh man, the person next to me, Adam, had the worst sleep apnea ever. It sounded like a mythical beast was being tortured at the bottom of a well. You seriously would have forced an emergency landing. So what did you do? I just went to sleep. You're amazing. So I've been thinking about it, and I think we should start with the 4-HOPE-MIPT because it's chemically similar to psilocybin, but it's more malleable, and it only lasts 2 hours. And I mean, you're probably a bit tired from your flight. So, wait, you want a trip tonight, Adam? No, I want a trip now. I mean, it's a beautiful day out. We don't have much time together. We should maximize. But I just got here. I mean, don't you just want to hang out with me normally? Yes, of course I do, but we're going to do that tomorrow anyway because tomorrow's recovery day. We have to space it out. See, then Wednesday, definitely phenethylamine. There'll be less cross tolerance that way. I'm thinking 2CE, but I don't know. If it's a nice day, 2CP, it lasts a long time. Wow, you're doing this really aggressively. I mean, how should I do it? The OCD is really aggressive. I don't know, Adam. I mean, I want you to do what you need to do to get better, but aren't you just happy to see me? Yes, of course I'm happy to see you, Grace. I mean, come on. Didn't I just demonstrate how happy I am? Grace smiles. Her smile is a little bit uneven. The left side of her mouth, it goes up a little bit. It's not unattractive, it's just, Adam, yeah, what are you looking at? Nothing, just don't look at her mouth. Just don't look at her mouth. So I look into her eyes, which are this striking gray-green. They're kind of deep set, though. They're kind of like recessed almost in a way. You're thinking about something, Adam. Tell me what it is. Honestly, I was thinking about food. I mean, I wanted to wait for you to get here to eat. I mean, you must be hungry, right? Yeah, I guess I could eat something. She's so easygoing. Maybe a little bit too easygoing. The dynamic, it's a little bit too safe. There's not enough of an edge to it. It's something going on, Adam. There's something, I'm just hungry. No, it's not that. It's like there's something you're not telling me. It's like you're, oh my God. Oh my God, are you? Am I what? You are. You totally are. I'm what? What are you talking about? You're having OCD about me right now, aren't you? What, OCD about you? No, what does that even mean? That makes, you're finding things you don't like. I'm not exciting enough, is that it? Or I'm not good enough in some way? You're being totally paranoid. Adam, you're looking at me like I'm a fucking MP3 player right now. I love you though. That's a stupid thing to say, Adam. Why would you say that right now? You think that's just gonna fix everything? Are you really that stupid? No, I'm actually the stupid one because I should have known better and I did know better and I came here anyway and this whole thing was a mistake. I'm just gonna leave right now, but can we just eat something, okay? I think we both just need to eat something, please. I have issues with the restaurant. Can we get some service here? Jesus. But I push them aside, and I'm trying to start conversation with Grace, but she's barely responding. So what was that parasite you were telling me about on the phone last week? Toxoplasma? Yeah, right, so it can like hijack other organisms? I mean, how can scientists tell? Because infected organisms exhibit dramatic behavioral changes, obviously. Like what sort of changes? I don't know, Adam, it varies. I mean, do you even really care? Yes, of course I care. I wouldn't ask if I didn't care. I mean, give me an example. Fine, so there's an ant. It'll march away from the rest of the colony and climb to the top of a blade of grass, where it's more likely to get eaten by a sheep or a cow. So the parasite, it moves up the food chain. But I don't think I said hijacked. I mean, that implies the ant has subconsciousness. It knows it's doing something against its will. But it probably just feels a tremendous urge to climb that grass. It doesn't ask why. And Grace, she's starting to smile a little bit, almost in spite of herself, and her smile, it is a little bit crooked. But that just makes it sexier. It's like, yeah, she's a farm girl, but she's having barnyard thoughts. And as we're leaving the restaurant, I sort of reach for Grace's hand. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good idea right now, Adam. I just don't know. I mean, I understand why you're saying that, obviously, but I love you. I mean, you know I love you. You're my favorite human. Grace just studies me. Her eyes are huge. Her brows furrowed. Then it smooths out. You're my favorite human. Just don't be crazy, man, okay? Can you please not be crazy? And I grab her. I pull her towards me. I squeeze her hard. Am I hurting you? No. No, hold me tighter. I want you to hold me tighter. And our timing is perfect. We get to Pier 40 just as the sun is touching the Jersey skyline. Grace is standing at the railing, looking out over New York Harbor. She looks so young, almost like just a girl. There's something about her that's timeless. I love you. I know you do, Adam. I know you do, and I love you too. I really do, but I hate your mental illness. Adam, I don't think I can do this anymore. What are you saying? Come on. 4-ACO DMT, 44 milligrams. Come on, why isn't this fucking working? 2CD, 190 milligrams. Like, this has to work. This just has to work. This just DOM, 7.5 milligrams with a 1.25 milligram booster. And it's just not working. Nothing is working. Nothing is working. I have to move to a new apartment. And I sign a lease, and then I break the lease the next day. And then I sign another lease, and I move into that place, but I move in a week later because I can't, it's too noisy, and I can't afford this. I can't afford the broker's fees. I can't afford the security deposit. But I'm still somehow finding money for new powders from China. Every time I open my freezer, I see this ever-proliferating forest of baggies scattered amidst the frozen fish sticks and frozen tortellini and frozen chicken patties. This whole just lexicon of lonely dinners. And it's just not working. Nothing's working. And it's fucking slow. And you know, fuck this whole fucking thing. Like, seriously, how can I not get mushrooms in New York City after all this time? You know what, I'm done. I'm done with this whole thing. This whole thing is bullshit. Fuck everything. I'm done. God fucking damn it.
I think I found what you're looking for. Penis envy. It's this new mushroom strain bred specifically to emulate the appearance of male genitalia. There's a thick, meaty stem with a little capfold over the tip. They look exactly like a circumcised member. It's kind of uncanny, actually. All the trip reports say they're like 3 times as strong as normal cubensis strains, which is probably just typical blue light hype, but still. I figure if you can get a regular, boring mushroom or one that looks like a big penis, why wouldn't you get the penis? On to that.
to the rental house on Martha's Vineyard. The box is waiting there when I arrive on the front porch. They look nothing like penises. They're twisted and shriveled and mottled and small. And I tell myself size doesn't matter. But fuck it. I take all of them. Well, they're probably impotent anyway. Actually, they turn out to be quite virile. And I don't call 911 because I want the cops to come to the house. I call because I have some burning existential questions and no one else is picking up the phone. And in fairness, my memory of this whole thing is admittedly hazy. But one of the benefits of calling 911 at the peak of an amnesia-inducing psychedelic experience is that you can subsequently request a transcript for $8. Operator, 911, this call is being recorded. What is the nature of your emergency? Caller. Are you God? Excuse me, sir? Or am I God? Sir, what's your address? I don't know if I should tell you that. I don't know if I can trust you. Who are you? Who am I? What's happening? Darkness. No sight, no sensory awareness at all. Then the darkness starts to assume a shape. It starts to gather at the horizon into this wave. And as this wave rises up higher and higher and higher and higher, the droplets frothing at its crest, they begin to coalesce. They start to resolve themselves into a single, impossibly sharp point. As that point begins to bear down on me, I can see reflected in its myriad facets. Oh God, no, 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 it's myself, it's my rage, my vanity, my ruthlessness, just needing to feel good. Or no, not needing, just wanting and not caring who I hurt in the process. Hurting Annie, hurting Grace, hurting everyone who's ever loved me. Or no, caring, you care, but you just do it anyway. You fucking do it anyway, because the tip of the wave is barbed with the horrible truth I've always secretly known, that my core is shot through this monstrous selfishness. Now I'm going to pay for my sins, and it's not just the principal due. Oh no, there's decades of interest deferred. No, please, no, please, no. I'm powerless. So okay, then do it. Here I am. Come on, bring it the fuck on. The wave. I'm the darkness. I'm the light. They're the same. I'm the whole universe. This creature is standing in the doorway, a cyborg with thick cables protruding out of either side of its neck and running down into its chest. Wait, that's a stethoscope. You're real. Yeah, buddy, I'm real okay, says the paramedic as he steps inside. Have you ever taken mushrooms? Never alone. two cops suddenly materialize in the doorway. They look a bit like penis mushrooms themselves, with their small blue caps stretched taut atop their wide heads. You need a hand with this one, Joel? Not sure. Two more cyborgs arrived, then three more penises, all just crowded into my front hallway. And I realize we've all been assembled here for a reason. Well, I say, let's all sit down together and try to figure this whole thing out, I guess. The phalanx of emergency responders docilely follow me into the living room. The cops sink into the couch, the paramedics congregate in the corner. And a silence descends as everyone looks up at me expectantly. I'm the one who's been chosen to channel this momentous message. My mouth is dry. Whoa, what are you doing there? Oh, I was just gonna have some water. You can't have any water. I can't have any water? We don't know what you've taken. You can't take anything else until we get you to the hospital. Now put down that water. But water? I still need water, otherwise I could get dehydrated. If I get dehydrated, I could die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I need this water right now. You're not gonna die, buddy. That's why we're taking you to the hospital. Now put down the water. The paramedic, his teeth are these twisted green shards. They look like moss-covered tombstones. He wants to conduct experiments on me. No, I am not putting down this water, and I am not going to the hospital with you. And you know, I want you to leave. And you, everyone, get out of my house right now. The cops begin to crowd in on me. One of the other paramedics, a slight middle-aged woman, is suddenly between me and the cops. Listen, you have a choice to make, okay? Either you can come with me, or the officers are going to take you. But how do I know I can trust you? You can trust me. And in her eyes, I can see all of the sadness she's ever experienced. But you got to choose now, otherwise they're going to make that choice for you. And the ambulance is clattering down these rutted dirt roads. 3 cyborgs and 1 penis looming over the gurney I'm lying on. And I feel good. I feel really good. Can we get some better music back here? Like maybe something by Guided by Voices, like one of their 90s albums if you have it, like B1000 or something. Sorry, buddy, just the radio back here. But even that sounds amazing. And I start dancing, still supine in the gurney. Why am I in an ambulance right now? I don't need to go to a hospital. I should just have them drop me off at a club. Yeah, good idea. But what club? That's the question. What night is it? Where am I? Wait a second. This is not New York. I'm in Martha's Vineyard, right? I'm renting a house on Martha's Vineyard. Fuck yeah. There are cops in that house. There are drugs in the house. All of the drugs. 24 baggies filled with mysterious white powders right out of my bedroom dresser. No, not mysterious. I've labeled each bag with the name of the illicit chemical. My lab scale is plugged in right next to it. This is automatic intent to distribute. They're going to arrest me as soon as I get to the hospital. But they don't. They discharge me 2 hours later. So I put down the cause of admission as panic attack instead of drug overdose, just so you don't have problems with employers and that sort of thing. Thank you. And you could have water now if you'd like. I actually recommend you drink a lot of water. I hitch a ride back to the house. You call 911 on yourself. You actually called 911 on yourself, man. And that was it. You were right there. You were right on the cusp of a +4. And what do? You fucking call 911 on yourself? Are you fucking kidding me? And now your parents are driving down. Your parents are driving down after receiving a call from the cops that their son, who's in his 30s, you're not a sophomore in college, has overdosed on magic mushrooms? I mean, how pathetic can you get? You fuck up everything. You literally fuck up everything. You even fuck up getting fucked up. You fucking fuck up. Fuck. Fuck. That was it, man. You fucked it up. But you're a lucky fuck up. Keep it in perspective, okay? They didn't arrest you. You're a very lucky fuck up. Well, yeah, they must have not gone into the bedroom because the drugs are still here. So use them. Use them. You can still fix this. You still have a lot of psilocybin in your system. Yeah, I'm at a +2, maybe a +3. Fix this right now. Just take a little bit of 2C, snort it so it kicks in more quickly. You can just get yourself over that edge. You're close, you're close, you're close. Yeah, but no, now is not the right time. My parents are going to be here in a few hours. Yeah, but my parents want me to get better. If they understood that this is the only possible thing that could help me, they would support. But also, they injected me with some sort of antipsychotic in the ambulance. I don't know how that's going to interact with, but it doesn't make a difference. You have enough drugs, but you have to take it right now before short-term tolerance sets in. You can fix this, but also, I'm exhausted. I've been tripping, but it's the perfect time. But it's not the right time, but it's never the perfect time. But this is clearly, but you can't, but you don't, but you have to just figure, you can fix it. Am I powerless? Am I actually powerless over that? I don't control that. I'm just its bitch. I'm powerless. Whoa. Whoa. But if I'm powerless, then maybe there is something more powerful out there that can help me. And what was that wave? That was something. That was everything. I don't know. But I can't do this on my own. I mean, if there's something that can help me, please help me. If there's something that can help me, please help me. Please help me. Please help me. Help me. Help me. Help me. Help me. No. Okay, so then, fuck. This is bad. But then take the 2CE. You can actually fix it. But I shouldn't. They're gonna be. It's okay. It's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. It's never been okay. It's not gonna be okay. You're fucking powerless, man. Just relax. Just relax. No, this can't. Please help me. Someone, something, help me. I can't do this. I can't fucking do this. I can't do this anymore. Help me. Help me. Help me. Help me. Okay. This is not the right thing to do, man. Just fuck. Hey, I know. I know we said we weren't going to talk on the phone. Just, you don't even have to say anything. Just stay on the line. Just for 2 minutes, okay? What's happening, Adam? I don't know. I guess I just needed to hear your voice. Yeah. But Adam, I can't talk. I should go. I have to go. You have to go right now? I do, Adam. Just take care of yourself, okay? Bye. Bye. Oh no. Oh no, 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 please, no, please, no, okay, 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 okay.
It's the end.
And I go back to New York after that. And a few days later, I'm walking to work. And it's the very beginning of spring. I'm just enjoying the foliage. But the other side is sunny, and you do need sunshine. It's been raining for 3 days straight, but no, I thought about this before. I decided to walk down this side of the street. This is just OCD. Just keep walking. But maybe the reason you're having OCD is because you're not getting enough vitamin D. I mean, vitamin D is negatively correlated with anxiety. You should cross the street, just keep walking. But look at the other side, the sun. It'll feel so good on your skin. Just cross the street. It's not a big deal. You can just cross the street. Just cross the street. Just cross the street. No, I'm powerless. Okay. 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 And I just let that wave of fear and doubt just break over me. And I surrender to it. And I keep walking. And by the time I get to the bodega, that OCD, it's just passed completely. And so I start doing the same thing with all of the little decisions. The shirts, the bagels, what subway line to take to which comedy club. The daily decisions that, dominated me for so many years. I just, okay, just keep going. And over the course of about 3 weeks of that, just surrendering, they just drop away. And I also go back to that circle of stackable plastic chairs with the hand washers and the skin pickers and the hair pullers, because what was that wave? That was something. That was some sort of higher power. And so I start working these 12 steps. Gene actually becomes my sponsor. And the abstinence thing, it's the exact same. It's just, okay. And things get better and better. But I'm not cured. Bigger decisions, especially ones that I haven't encountered before, those can still sometimes trip me up. I can start to get caught up in the reversals. But usually, pretty quickly, I remember that I'm powerless, and okay, I let go. And some of you tonight may have obsessive compulsive disorder, which, well, if you have OCD, raise your hand 6 times. Some of you probably didn't think you had OCD when you came in here, but now, I knew solo theater was risky. I didn't think I was going to get mental illness from it. Some of you may just be looking for mushrooms. You're welcome to Slow's number. I wouldn't necessarily use me as a reference. We haven't talked in a while. And Grace. Yeah, we haven't talked in a while either. We stopped talking not long after that mushroom trip. It just seemed like we always wound up in the same place. But then as things started to get better for me, as I started recovering, I reached out to her. I knew she'd want to know. But there was no response. I tried several times and nothing. I still think about her sometimes when I do the show, obviously, and when I go to Pier 40, which is still my favorite place in New York. And right before you get to the pier itself, you pass this little public garden with a metal sculpture of an apple surrounded by vegetation. And on Grace's last visit to New York, we were walking to the pier, and she stopped at that garden and was looking at these dead leaves scattered in the dirt. They're not dead. They're all part of a single plant. It's called a mullet. This is just a stage in its life cycle. And someday, I think it's in the spring, a stalk will shoot up from between all these leaves and lift them out of the ground so they're just dangling in the air. It looks totally alien. You have to see it. Make sure you come back here in the spring. So I did. I came back that spring. And since then, I've come back in every season. And it's always just those same dead leaves. But I think Grace might be right, because if they were truly dead, wouldn't they have decomposed by now? So there must be some life dormant. So I keep coming back. Because even though I've never seen anything growing, I believe that it will happen.